up to like Hope's Pass should probably be you aiming for like a 12-14 minute pace the entire time.
Alright guys, so we are still here in South Carolina. We have a trail run today, so we were able to use all trails and find a local trail that kind of fit what we were looking for. Unfortunately, there's not an abundance of trails here in South Carolina compared to New York. So, you know, obviously we had to make do with what we can. So we were able to track down this one trail called Buckwalter Place Greenway Trail. It's attached to a shopping center. One of the things about trail running down here is a lot of the trails are really paved or meant for walking, biking, golf carts. There's not a lot of trail running here, so we had to make do with what we could find. So we were able to track down this one trail. It's actually right back here. It's about 1.3 to 1.5 mile loop, it says. I guess it depends on like which route you take, but my plan is we have 7 to 16 today. That will potentially be my longest run of this entire block so far. So my plan is to keep the truck close, do 2 or 3 loops, hit the truck, hydrate, refuel, go back out 2 or 3 loops, hit the truck every 2 or 3 loops like I just said. I'm excited. This could be a big day for me, a big run. We were able to pick up some stuff. Like I said, we're in a shopping center, so there's a Publix, gas station, a bunch of little shops here. It's a pretty nice shopping center. And we're gonna get after it. I'm excited. We have the Invincible 3s today. I got everything ready, and we're gonna get in there. I got the Osmo with me, no film crew, and we're gonna get after it today. So sit back, enjoy. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. Let's get after it. So this is the Buckwalter Place Greenway Trail. And like I said, it's got a decent trail. But the problem is all these trees are pretty much little foundations for these giant banana spiders. And when you're running through here, they sit pretty much at like head level across the trail. I guess because that's probably the safest place for them, but it ain't the safest place for my face. And I've had those things fall on top of my head so far since I've lived here, and it is not ideal at all. So I'm gonna stick to the pavement for today. It's just really unfortunate because I really do want to make sure that I'm getting trail miles. But again, when I first decided to split my life up here and there and in New York, I knew that this would be a challenge. You just got to embrace the challenge and make do with what you can. Miles are miles, time on feet is time on feet. So the most important thing is that I'm getting these miles in and that I put my head down and train hard. So let's finish this loop, get back to the car, refuel, get back to it. Bluffton Parkway, keep running back and forth, which is around 3 miles, pretty much down and back, which 3 should get me 4 or 5 loops, and then we're gonna keep stopping the car for 8 minutes. We got dill pickles. I also picked up some goos, and feel good. Legs feel great after that 8 miler the other day. So We have 6 to 8 minutes between loops, and then we're gonna head back out and get back to it. Weather's holding up today, so feel good. All right, mile 10 done. Right now I'm like at 9:30 pace, so just coasting. Body feels great. Feet feel 70 percentile. I actually run by this shoe store called Palmetto Running Club. It's a running shoe club, or a running club that sells shoes. So I'll be able to tack on some miles with some of those guys. It's great. Weather's holding up. Like I said, my body feels great. We're going to try to hit a couple more miles. I want to be back for my kids. Just came back from homeschooling, so eat some pickles, drink some water, take some goos, maybe take a scuba pre, get back out there, finish this workout. Let's go. All right, so 15-mile run in the books. Came out at around a 10-minute pace. Everyone's asking me about why I run with 2 watches, and for this run exactly is why I run with 2 watches, because my Garmin came out at around 15.14 and my Coros came out at exactly 15. So it's always good, the more data you have, the better. Both roughly around the 10-minute, sub 10-minute mark for pacing. Longest run of my training so far for Leadville. Feel great. Body, a lot better than I thought. Feet, I probably could have done a little bit more care for them leading up to this run, but I'm gonna run back to the house, refuel, try to get a workout in, see the kids, and enjoy the rest of my day. So I think the next time I'm gonna pick up the camera, I'll be back in New York with the squad, getting some trail miles in. So until then, I'll be right back. You didn't do anything. They're heavy, right? Careful.
That I've already done it multiple times. They're just like, there are placing aid stations and all of that, and just prepare for that time average. And like majority in the front end should be leading up to like Hope's Pass should probably be you aiming for like a 12-14 minute pace the entire time.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think those people that are bogging out are either going for a big buckle, or they're not controlling their emotions and they're just trying to like full rip into it.
I don't know. It's definitely not going to be easy, but...
So, just wrapped up 5-mile run, 10-minute pace. You guys just saw I was having a little bit of a meeting with Kevin Lee to go over what this week will look like. Like I said, this last week of August, including really the entire month of August, but the entire last week of August was an all-out grind. And it's looking like the first week of September is pretty much rolling right back into it, going heavy right from the jump. So I'm excited to do that. So excited to get into that. Man, I try to beat the heat every time I'm here. Every morning run, I try to beat the heat, and it just catches up to me. So I'm gonna go inside, shower, get some food, rest, recover, spend the day with the family at the beach, and I'll pick you guys up tomorrow. Gotta throw the canes on, let my feet recover. Guys, so first run back in New York. We're actually changing up where we're running today. We are here at Sprain Ridge Park. This is actually another park that I grew up riding mountain biking at. It's kind of like the same vicinity as Graham Hill. It's actually a little bit closer to where our gyms are. A little bit of a different environment. I would say that this has got a lot of fire roads. The trail itself is, I would say if you're going to say Graham Hills is up here, Sprain is probably right around here, but still for me a lot of variety. So last week was my first 100-mile month. This is the first week of September. This actual prior week, first week of September, I had my longest run of the block. It was a 15-mile road run down in South Carolina. So this is our first trail run of September. Excited to get in there. Chris is actually going to explain kind of like the loop that we're taking for this run, because again, I've never been to this part of the park, so I'm not really too sure where we're actually running. So he's going to explain what we're doing for this run.
All right, yeah, so as Mike said, we're here at Sprain Ridge, not at Graham Hills this time. The main difference between Sprain Ridge and Graham Hills is that the elevation is not as steep as Graham Hills. It's a lot more flowier, a lot more flatter, at least the section that we're gonna be doing today. So we're gonna do about a 3.5 mile loop, and yeah, we'll see how it goes.
My run Monday was supposed to be 5 to 10 miles. Today, it's supposed to be the 2 to 3 mile interval, sandwich style, like we did last episode. We're gonna flip flop. So today, we're gonna do the 5 to 10 miles in here, do the 2 to 3 on another rest day, just because traveling yesterday was a little bit more difficult for me to get a run in. So 5 to 10 today. There's no pace set. It's kind of just get through it. We're gonna get through it together. There's no maybe. There's only do. All right, right? Everyone right? No, it's 5 to 10, but I don't know where the fuck I'm going. That was fucking confusing.
That was good.
That was good. That was a really good loop. I actually like that more than Graham.
Yeah, it's good.
Graham is literally all climbing.
Yeah, that's not climbing until the end.
Yeah, well, that's good for your training, considering you're
That
going
was-
to be all climbing
That was great.
on those 100 miles.
Okay, first loop came out at around almost 3.5, 3.4. Very flowy, like we talked about before, like Chris said. It's a great change up compared to Graham. Graham is pretty much all climbing and then just shooting straight down. This was very flowy. The trails weren't that hard. There's a little bit of climbing and then a straightaway for the fire road. This run is supposed to be around 5 to 10. So we're gonna try to go for one more loop, cap out wherever we pop out. We lost Kevin Lee a little bit in there. He just called us and said that he's at 2.5 miles, so he's still a little bit behind. But I actually like this trail a lot. The first time we ever went to Graham, if you guys remember back, whatever episode that was, I said that it's good to go to a trail where you don't know where you're going, because then I can just follow him. And I'm not really thinking about, how much longer do we have? Oh, we're coming up here. Let me push myself. It's kind of just like a steady push the entire route, the entire run. Because I don't know where we're going. I don't know where to let up. I don't know where to keep pushing. And that'll pretty much be almost all of Leadville. Leading up to Leadville, we'll have meetings talking about, where we need to conserve energy, where we need to push, where we need to go. And you can strategize as much as you want. But the day that we get to race day, I'm not going to know what the fuck I'm looking at. I'm not going to know what's around each corner. I'm going to have a rough idea. So, trying to build in some of these runs where I don't really know where I am is going to be really crucial to my training. Even like right now, we're going to go in for a second loop. I have no idea where we are. I have no idea what part of the trail I'm in, where I'm going. Do I turn left? Do I turn right? And the best thing that we can do is utilize that in our training, try to make sure that we're honing in on that, using that as best we can. Looking at it as a positive instead of a negative. And yeah, we're gonna wait for Kevin. Should we wait for Kevin or should we just go?
Wait for him. Okay.
All right, gonna wait for Kevin, and then we're gonna hop back in. Yeah, feel great. Only thing that is, I feel a little bit on my legs. We had a heavy leg day yesterday, and my hips are the only thing. Other than that, my feet feel great. My body feels great. My conditioning feels great. There's nothing that I'm, at no point of that run did I ever think I need to pull up and stop. It was pretty much just all steady running. Yeah. So I'm gonna wait for Kevin, get back in there, and wrap up this run. wrapped up that workout. First time running at Sprain, so we were able to kind of like experiment a little because this is really our first workout of the week. We started with that 3.5 mile loop, and then as we were waiting, we kind of said to ourselves, okay, that fire road we just took halfway through our run is actually a really good spot for running hills. So we ended up going all the way back through. We walked to the end of the fire road, did a couple runs up and down that, came out at around 4.5, and then I just did 1.5 mile, 3/4 loop right over here to get to 5.25, 5.5-ish. Pacing, I mean, again, like I said, we were kind of experimenting, so I was doing a lot of stop starting, so not really too sure what our pace was, but we were around 11-minute pace. Elevation says we were at 633 total feet of elevation gain. So not as much, but this is a really good trail for getting a variety of running, a lot of flowiness to it. So I'm excited to add this kind of into the mix. And now that we know that we have that fire road access, that'll be great for all of our hill runs. We were talking before, like we have a lot of workouts built in where it's a sandwich run, like we showed last episode, where it's 2-3 miles, then 4x20 sprints, or a lot of variety with sprint work and hill work. So I'm glad we found this, and I'm excited to add it to our repertoire of trails that we have. How'd you feel?
Yeah, just exactly what he said. I thought this trail was pretty good, nice and flowy, not too many steep climbs like you have over in Graham Hills, except once you get to the end on that fire road. But you know, it's a great trail just to mix it up, so you're not only doing one, you know, trail every single day. And yeah, it's good. What else?
You got anything to say, Kevin?
Pass it on anyway.
I'm in pain. This is why you need to keep up with your training consistency. I should practice what I preach, but I don't. My calves hurt. My feet hurt. My soul hurts. Yeah, I gotta figure something out.
Honestly, also, it's the whole Adidas with the fucking different brand shoe.
You know, everything on my body is a different brand.
That's true, yeah.
You know, zero loyalty.
And
Yeah,
that's
I'm in
why-
pain though.
That's
That's
why
it.
you're in pain.
That's it. I need to figure something out. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. I have to. And that's it. That's all I have to say. Be better. What Mikey says. Breathe when you're done. For me, it's just survive.
That's trademark, so you can't say it.
I said what Mikey says, so I could say it.
You have to pay him a royalty.
Leave no doubt that nobody's coming to save you. So breathe when you're done. Good night.
Both you guys owe royalties now.
Now you owe royalties.
Dude, just bleep it.
All right, so that's gonna do it for this episode. We were in South Carolina training. Now we're here in New York, so it's a good episode. We also really appreciate the feedback. We've been getting a lot of comments. If you guys haven't been paying attention to the videos, we've been getting a lot of comments, a lot of great feedback. Eddie getting a shout out in the videos as well for his editing work, and we appreciate it. So if you guys are new here, click that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions on our training, Leadville Prep, the company, the brand, everything that we're doing, and we'll see you next episode.